Human.Readable is a data company that wants to help people make the best decisions when it really matters. Big data gets a bad rep these days because it only seems to be used to help companies monopolize their industries or make the world a little more sad. People don't want to be addicted to social media. They don't want another hyper-intelligent rocket launcher or another knick-knack to buy from Amazon. Big companies are using the data they collect to drive decision making. But why can't people use big data to help themselves make better choices? There's data all around us, and most of it's sitting around doing nothing. Every major city in the United States has a public data set, and most of the time there's a hackathon and nobody follows up. It's there for transparency, for record keeping, but what can people do with it? The real power in this data is in comparing data between different cities. It's in the comparisons we can say, should you move to New York or should you move to Austin? In this way, we can make data actionable, but not like the ways that big business does. These data sets are for humans, so we can feel confident we're doing the right things, like when we're thinking about moving or getting surgery. Every app for our team is an experiment, and these experiments help us to learn about people, what their needs are, how we can help, and what makes for a happy decision, and how we can help people make the best ones. We can learn from these experiments and build templates to replicate our successes. Let's start with our first experiment based on the Hospital Price Transparency Act. This act sheds a light on a dataset that has traditionally been hidden from Americans. Its primary focus is to force hospitals to post standard charges on their websites in a machine-readable format. This is excellent information, but it's not seamless. What has ended up happening is that these hospitals are hiding this information in the bowels of their websites with little to no SEO, so that this information stays at the bottom of search results unless you search for the exact phrase. Hiding these prices from people is un-American. There's a kind of American that everybody thinks that they are, and that's the savvy consumer. Everyone wants to be a person who never gets ripped off, knows all the tricks, and can get the best deals. It's a trope that has survived generations. And now people are on TikTok sharing life hacks and how to get your best bang for your buck at Chipotle. Everyone wants to feel like a confident consumer. But how can you feel confident going into a hospital? That's why there's so many YouTube videos of people running out the back of ambulances. 1 in 4 Americans ignore health issues because of the cost. It's time we change that, either by helping these people get health care or showing that the cracks in the system are too big to fix. Either way, Human.Readable will be here to turn this data into something meaningful for people. We want to make it seamless to compare hospital prices, but we don't just want to give the lowest price. We want to provide people with practical advice, like the timeline of care for a particular procedure, what's involved in a diagnosis, and if the solution is worth the cost. There's a lot of data to extract from these data sets, like who's the best insurance for people with mental illness? If I'm trying to get pregnant, should I switch to a low deductible if my high deductible lets me use an HSA? Should I get my stinky foot looked at? Is it worth going to get my broken collarbone looked at? Do you get an x-ray for tonsillitis? These are all questions that we can help people find answers to and ease their minds. By organizing these prices by procedures and diagnoses, we can create a template for every standard medical practice for every hospital. We can then compare the care between hospitals while giving advice and insight on the procedure and pointing the customer to trusted partners who can help them as well. Although healthcare will be our first data experiment, I hope to expand our work to city data and beyond. Then, similar to our medical templates, we can use that experience to fuel our future endeavors to help people make better decisions.